What's good, y'all, and welcome to my review for The Whale. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I finally watched it. Finally got added to Paramount Plus. I believe this month is when it got added to it. Meant to watch it earlier, but kind of forgot about it with other stuff. And then, this week I finally found the time to be able to watch it with The Flash coming on HBO Max, and I checked Paramount Plus. I was like, oh yeah, right. Forgot The Whale was on there. I gotta go watch that too and post a review of it. Overall, I'm gonna say this right now. This film was fucking incredible. Like, you guys know me. I love me some Darren Aronofsky. Loved Requiem for a Dream. Loved Black Swan. Also loved Mother, although that's probably my least favorite. Still need to watch The Wrestler. Yes, I know. The guy that loves pro wrestling hasn't seen The Wrestler. I know. One day I will get to it. I will get to see The Wrestler. Whenever that day comes, because obviously I want to watch it because, pro wrestling and everything, and and of course because, it's all, I've heard nothing that's just a genuinely, phenomenal film. But obviously, the highlight of the movie, like the one reason that kind of like really brought this movie into prominence, and the reason you go see it, other than of course it being another Darren Aronofsky film, is the fact that it's about Brendan Fraser's performance. And yeah, man, he is fucking incredible. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is incredible and was very much well deserving of that Oscar he got last year. And obviously, I was very happy for him. You guys saw me live tweeting on Twitter when the Oscars were going on. So yeah, but without further ado, man, let's just jump right into the movie. It's directed by, of course, the legendary Darren Aronofsky, and stars Brendan Fraser, Sadie Sink, Hong Chow, if I'm pronouncing her name right, Ty Simpkins, and more. And the plot of The Whale is in a town in Idaho. Charlie, a reclusive and unhealthy English teacher, hides out in his flat and eats his way to death. He is desperate to reconnect with his teenage daughter for a last chance at redemption. Now, I already mentioned, now we usually get into the cast and everything, but obviously, I already mentioned Brendan Fraser. He's fucking incredible, man. Just incredible, man. Like, I can't say anything more that hasn't already been said about the performance, man. He's just incredible, man, and was, like I said before, very much well deserving of the Oscar, man. But I have to say, Hong Chow, if I'm pronouncing her name right, Hong Chu, if I'm pronouncing that right, no lie, she might be the real MVP of this film. Like, obviously, Brendan Fraser's performance is incredible, and I meant it, but I would argue that Hong gives maybe even a slightly better performance than Brendan Fraser. Not by much. They're basically neck and neck with each other, but her performance really impressed. Like, Darren Aronofsky, I already knew he was going to be, not Darren Aronofsky, excuse me, but his directing is legendary once again, man, especially when we get to like the later half of the film. But anyway, Brendan Fraser's performance, I already knew that was going to be amazing because, that was the one thing everybody was talking about this film. But Hong, there not much people were talking about Hong Chow, if I say Chong Chow, Chu, however her last name is pronounced. In like other videos I saw, some people would bring it up, but not much. Everyone was always talking about Brendan Fraser. But yeah, man, she is fucking incredible and arguably the real MVP of this film, man. She was amazing. Absolutely love the performance, man. But I gotta give a shout out to Sadie Sink, who plays Ellie, which is funny enough because honestly, Bella Ramsey, we all can agree she was incredible as Ellie in The Last of Us, and all that, and she was. You guys saw that in my review, but I gotta say, Sadie Sink, I think, could have made an amazing Ellie as well. I mean, this movie was basically damn near her training, her mixtape, if you will. She's even playing Ellie. A different Ellie, but, a very similar personality to Ellie in The Last of Us, I noticed. So, yeah, I think she could have been great as, like, Ellie as well for The Last of Us series. Obviously, Bella Ramsey was incredible, but I feel like she could have been an amazing Ellie, too. That's just something I noticed while I was watching the film was definitely that. Now, another thing I gotta talk about, the score for the movie is phenomenal. A lot of Darren Aronofsky movies have some great scores, like obviously Black Swan had a great score, man. Requiem for a Dream, of course, had some really iconic tracks in there as well. But this movie, once again, man, this might be the best score in any Darren Aronofsky film. Like I said, I haven't watched all his movies yet, so that could change once I've watched them all. But at least for the ones I've seen, and then again, I also haven't seen seen Mother, Requiem for a Dream, or Black Swan in years. But I argue this is probably the best score in all of his movies, man, at least from the ones I see, man, because the score of the movie is just fantastic, man. Shout out to whoever the composer was for this movie, man. They did an amazing job, man. Also, we got to give props to the makeup department, man. Like, the makeup on Brendan Fraser, man. Obviously, I'm pretty sure he did gain some weight for the role, or some weight for the role. I think, if I remember correctly, he did gain some weight, but obviously all of that, most of that was makeup, wearing like a fat suit or whatever. But you honestly, if you had told me that Brendan Fraser had gained all this weight himself, for this role, I honestly would have believed you, man, because my God, the makeup in this movie looks amazing. Like, you cannot tell that's a fat suit. Obviously, it was, behind the scenes and everything, but you cannot tell that's a fat suit, man. It looks real. So, shout outs to the makeup department, man, because it looks incredible what they did with their man. And also, obviously, Brendan Fraser directing once again is top tier, man. I love his movies, the way he directs his movies, man. They just always look so good, so haunting most of them, because a lot of time he does direct horror films, and that does not change here. Even though this is definitely, first of all, coming off from Mother, which you guys know if you guys saw my review for Mother many years ago, you guys know that I was very confused by that movie. I loved it, but I was like very confused about the entire thing. And I already mentioned countless times how the ending made me feel like I was slowly going insane. When shit was getting crazy in the last like 30 minutes, and I would dudes were busting in, SWAT team was busting in through the windows, and there was a massive rave going on, bro. Shit was crazy with Mother, and that's probably his most artsy film, or his most like, I don't know what the fuck you would even describe Mother as, man. It was weird. It was just a weird-ass film. So, definitely excited to see him go back to something that's, and you can completely understand the plot. Everything makes sense. There isn't any weird shit going down, bro. Although the opening was pretty crazy. And that's all I'll say about that, man. The man knows how to start a film, let me tell you. If you know, you know, man. But, yeah, man. Yeah, his directing was amazing, and of course, the movie was done in 4:3 as well, which I think definitely does add to like the more claustrophobic nature of the film a little bit, being such with the glass panel being so close, and you're mostly always just really focusing on Brendan Fraser, and just the overall like it's a little like this living room and his overall apartment and everything. So that's basically where the entire movie takes place is there, but. Yeah, man, his directing is just on point, especially when we get to like the ending of the movie, man, where you get to see a lot more of his horror roots starting to like seep out of there, man. With the last like 30 or so minutes of the movie, man. That's where you get to really see like, oh yeah, there's those Darren Aronofsky horror motifs that we all know and love, man. There it is, starting to peek out there, man. The last 30 minutes, man, were just incredible, and the ending, my God, bro, what an ending, bro. Jesus, just a phenomenal ending, man. I also just love the story in general, man. The way it talks about pain and just, how people deal with that and everything, man. Just a great story. Apparently there are some people saying like, oh, like you would call the movie problematic, which I don't get why. Like what? Because the movie doesn't, shy away and give it to you straight that if you're over 600 pounds, morbidly obese, chewing nothing but meatball subs, double stacking pizzas and shit, you'll slowly kill yourself? Like, you'll die from, heart failure or whatever? Like, no shit. Literally, when I was looking up reviews of the movie, right before I started recording, Steve, Jared Johns dropped a review, or Chris Stuckman, or just, any YouTubers I watch. While I was scrolling down, you get to the shorts, and the first one that pops up is this one that says, why the whale is fat phobic, and the thumbnail's a fat chick. That told me everything. I was like, oh, I already know what this is about. No, thank you. I scrolled down and I found Jeremy Jan's review. I was like, and listen, this is coming for someone that's fat as well, bro. I am not slim by any stretch of the imagination, bro. I am also a fat man. Not that fat, but I am definitely overweight, just to give you guys that context. But, yeah, man. Yeah, just a phenomenal film, just in general, man. Yeah, and I also loved Ellie's character. She was amazing as well. Like I mentioned before, Sadie was incredible there as well. But if there is one, I guess if you want to talk about flaw with the movie, man, you can definitely, if you even want to call it that, you can definitely tell this movie's based off a stage play, given the fact that the movie's locked in on one location that is his apartment. You almost never leave there. The most you see is like his balcony and like the front of the place and like a beach. You really don't. The movie is predominantly focused in there, and that's where you can definitely tell the movie is definitely based off a stage play from that alone. But yeah, that's about all I got for you guys in terms of flaws, man. Now, some of you guys might be wondering if this movie would have cracked my top 10 list if I was able to see it before I post the video. And I definitely would say it would have. I went back and checked my top 10 list, and from what I could see, and I would definitely say I would put this over Scream 5, but I don't know if I would put this over Halloween Ends in my personal opinion. I definitely would have put this on over Scream 5, so this would have cracked the top 10 if I was able to catch it before I made that video. So, and I'll probably update my top 10 as well after I upload the video as well. So, if you guys are curious if this would have cracked the top 10, it definitely would have. So, yeah, man. Overall, my final verdict for The Whale is a 10 out of fucking 10, man, which I'm sure shocked none of you guys. You guys know how much I love Darren Aronofsky and his films, man. And whenever he comes out with the next one, I'll be there to watch it, man. So yeah, as always, leave your thoughts below in the comments, guys, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on my social if you feel like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.